Hey everyone. Thanks for coming on. You found me obviously because I'm showing up in Google under SEO training. The reason I decided to go after that keyword is because I know a certain number of people in today's world are going to be searching or looking for how to do it themselves instead of paying someone how to do it. So I just wanted to briefly go through a small PowerPoint presentation of, what should be conducted in your SEO training and what you need to know about. So without further ado, let's go through it. So my name is Cian Murphy. I've been working in SEO since around 2008. Uh, I was working in an e-commerce company where I was looking after pay-per-click campaigns, so PPC, using Google AdWords at the time. And eventually, I was told, look, we need to figure out how to get costs down. So what we did is we looked into search engine optimization. And I remember one of the first people I think I was looking at the time was Rand Fiskin from Moz. He's his own one called Spark Toro now. But that was one of the first entries we did. And just by making a few simple tweaks to our website, we were actually able to rank under keywords that we were paying for. So it was hugely amazing to see how much cost we were able to cut by showing up in search results organically. And the techniques that we used back then are techniques you wouldn't use now. So we're constantly evolving. Google is constantly evolving and showing what they want to show to their users. So we have to be vigilant in how we optimize our websites and how we stay up to date with things. So let's go through it. So some of the things we'll cover now quickly will be let's talk EAT. So EAT is expertise, authority, and trust, and domain popularity. You know, we'll talk about quick, clean, easy to navigate user experience. We're going to talk about keyword research, so what people are searching for. There's no point in creating content people aren't searching for unless it's extremely valuable and you know it's eventually going to help the user. Search intent, what do people want? Google is telling you. We'll just keep that to ourselves for the moment. Video and voice SEO is seeing unbelievable growth at the moment. How affected it or how it's going to affect your industry is, well, we're not sure. It'll affect some industries more than others, mainly informational based, I believe. Pesky Google is scraping content and placing snippets in the search results. So Google is training people how to consume content in a different way now. So we have to be vigilant of that as well. The search engine, Billboard, and click-through rates. So we'll discuss about what the search engine is. And yep, them links are still pretty important, folks. So in SEO, we talk about links. So we'll go through a bit of that. A backlink is a link from another web entity to your web entity. And that's how, I suppose, Google used to have a lot of its algorithm look at it and see the popularity of your domain based on the number of those links. And we're going to go through a few tips to get in the signals. So, remember I was saying that Google is telling you what they want. Well, they actually put together a guideline. So Google has this, I suppose, user content guidelines. So it's what their raters will look at a website to see if they're effective. And one thing that's really been updating over the past couple of years is their expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. EAT. So this is just Google saying that if you're going to become a really good website and really good author and be trusted, you're going to have to make sure that your website has this. So really, you're becoming an authority in your industry, and are you going to be trusted? And some industries are affected more than others. So if you're a solicitor, or if you're in the financial industry, or you're giving people advice on health, then that's going to actually, this expertise, authority, and trustworthiness is going to be a lot more important for your website. It won't be looked as too importantly on, say, if you're a plumber, but eventually Google will move towards those types of industries. If you want to figure out how Google is working, or how the SEO should be conducted, just look at their mission. Google want to deliver the most relevant and reliable information available. So if you're relevant, you're reliable, your website's easy to scan, the UX is good, you're going to do very well. How Google search engines works. So this is kind of how we look for sites that many users seem to value for similar queries. For example, if prominent websites link to the page, what is known as PageRank, that has proven to be a good signal that the information is well trusted. Aggregated feedback from our search quality evaluation process is further used to refine how systems discern the quality of the information. So again, making sure that you're getting those inbound links from authoritative websites is extremely important. So, there's a lot of guesswork. So, a lot of different companies using. So Neil Patel is using Domain Score, Moz is using Domain Authority, and there's a few more. Hrefs is using Domain Rating. But to be honest, what this is it gives us a good indication of where a website needs to get to. So they're basically looking at a lot of integrated link data, and they're looking at how authoritative a website is perceived on the number of inbound links that website gets, and they give it a score. So if you start a brand new website from scratch, you're going to be at 0 out of 100 for a certain time, until you build up your content, until you build up your links, until you promote yourself. And you might never get past a certain point if you're a small niche or in a small area. Some of the other things we'll look at is technical SEO. So mobile responsiveness. Google updated their algorithm to favor websites that were, I suppose, they'd respond well on a mobile device. Because if your website doesn't respond and it's not legible or eligible on a mobile device, then Google's going to kind of say, hang on, do you know what? These users aren't getting a great experience on mobile, so your website won't do as well. Now, it's a good in today's society, especially if you're using WordPress, because most of this mobile responsiveness is done for you. So it's actually really good. Good at looking at page speed. Again, it's because the faster your website loads, the better user experience it is for that user. And they're saying on average it takes a second now before a user bounces. It used to be 3. A bounce when someone comes to your website, can't be arsed waiting for it to load, and then they leave. Is your site secure? I said Google want authority, trust. So, one of these things is this SSL cert. So it's that little lock symbol at the top of the browser in the URL to see if you're done. Another part of technical SEO will be sitemap implementation. So just making sure that you have a map of all your URLs and you submit it to Google to let them know that these are all the posts on your website. Otherwise, Google is guessing. Your caching resources. So a cache is kind of storing assets that don't have to be loaded every time. Redirect chains. So sometimes when our websites get big or we have to delete a post because it's no longer relevant, we have to create a redirect. But sometimes what happens is you get 2 redirects because you delete 2 pages and there's 2 redirects in place. And that takes longer to load and it's not good for search results. Minimizing render blocking assets such as JS and CSS. Now, it's a bit technical, but basically CSS is the style of your website. JavaScript adds kind of cool functionality, but it can be difficult for some search engines to read JavaScript. And it can block a lot of resources. So minifying and compressing images. We're checking crawler stats and robots.txt. Your robots is, so when Google scans your website, it's a crawler, we call it, crawls the website and it scans everything on that site. But robots will indicate what can be done. So in other words, if you disallow a robot from scanning your website, then it's going to be very difficult for Google or other search engines to rank you because you've disallowed a bot from crawling your website. So, making sure that your robots.txt is optimized is very important. So, keyword research, so important, because I believe doing keyword research before you even start your website is extremely important. Because if you don't, basically what's happening is, I suppose you might create content you think is amazing that people should know about, but nobody's searching for it. And it's even different variations have different search volumes. So in other words, if I'm a solicitor in Cork City, so someone actually might type in solicitor in Cork City and that might get 300 visitors a month, but solicitors Cork might get 1,000. So the way you structure your title might actually benefit you in a different way by targeting the latter, the 1,000 keyword one. Why write something that no one wants to know about? So you also have to think about difficulty. So if you're a brand new website, it's going to be very hard for you. Say if you're I suppose in my example here that you're a dog toy website, or you have dog products for your pets. So to rank for the keyword dogs is extremely hard because you're going up against Wikipedia, all these websites that have been around for years and years and years. So you have to kind of go down the chain, I suppose, to see if you can rank for easier terms at the start. So rank for key phrases like buy dog leashes. It's still extremely competitive because people want to sell dog leashes. So all these e-commerce pet stores are trying to go up under this. But then rank for a lot of keywords like where can I buy a dog leash in Cork? So you actually might get a lot more volume by creating multiple pages like that, targeting different keywords. Where can I buy a nice dog bowl for my dog in Cork? these type of keywords. So when we start small and no authority, the more quality content we write, the more authoritative we become. Then we go after, I suppose, the higher, harder keywords when we've developed your website. Keyword tools. So some of the tools that we use in the industry, I suppose, Google AdWords has a suggestion tool. Neil Patel has a free tool at the moment. Moz have the Keyword Explorer, a favorite of mine, but it's expensive. SEMrush again, as well. They have a fantastic tool, Keyword Magic tool, gives you suggestions. Ahrefs is a great resource and really easy to use, but it is costly, especially for small business owners. Use the Google suggestion feature to research long tail keywords. So if you type something into Google, what you're going to see is, if you say dog toys, you might actually get a longer list of items. So dog toys for under $20 or €20. Check out Google Trends as well. So you can find out what's been trending over the last year. So if you look at Google Trends, say in today's society, you'll see that Google actually has a, what would it be? So work from home. Work from home is completely peaking because of what's going on with COVID-19, and we're all stuck at home, so people are looking for that. So Google Trends will help you identify and see these. Another tool that's really good is from, what's his name? Brian Dean. I can't remember the name of his new tool, but I think it's Exploding. I'll find out the name of it. But he basically looks at Google Trends and he puts it in a nice visual format. Tip that I like to use is, I like to actually start campaigns by paying for a bit of keywords. I know an SEO specialist saying to pay, but what's the point in putting so much effort into ranking under something without understanding what converts for a user? So we use AdWords to find out what keywords turn into business. There's different types of keywords. So you have navigational. This is a great resource from WordStream. I like this graphic. I use it all the time. Navigational. So the intent is to reach a particular part of a site. So, Citibank login. If you want to log into your government, I suppose, tax area, Facebook, you're looking for the particular website and a particular part of that website. Informational. So in this example, signs of pregnancy, but you might be informational content could come in many forms. So, where's the best place to walk my dog in Ireland? What are the best places to hike in Ireland? What type of TV should I buy? These are all informational. And then you get down to your transactional quotes. So the ones that are actually going to make money for your business. So where can I suppose, get life insurance quotes? Where can I buy life cover? Buy tools online. Book a holiday today. These are transactional type keywords. You have to remember, if you understand the intent behind the search, it's also very important. So if you understand that you have to understand that not everyone will buy from you straight away. But if you're there at the start of their journey, you can use other marketing such as remarketing to bring them on the next stage of your journey. But if you understand the intent behind a search, you can fulfill what the user wants and potentially earn them as a customer because you're giving them information that builds trust. Sometimes people start for a lot of informational, and after several interactions with your brand, you can convert them using your transactional terms. Tip for looking at intent, what's number one in search results right now? Can you compete on it? Is it worth the effort? And will it generate revenue for you? So it could have a huge amount of searches. But say if I wanted to rank under Monster, I don't think there's any point in that because look at the knowledge card. Monster is there. They have upcoming matches. They have top stories. So you're not going to get anywhere above the fold in that section. Unless you're going after news SEO, then you might, like the Irish Examiner, Limerick Leader, or the 42 here. But if I was an e-commerce brand trying to sell Monster jerseys or a sports shop, then I wouldn't see it as an option, and it'd be a lot of time and effort. I'd rather go at, where can I buy Monster jerseys in whatever county I'm living in. But as I said, there's other things. You have to look at video and voice search. So here's an example of voice search might be, what's the weather like today, Google? They might have, I suppose, Amazon Echo now is play music, video search as well. So you can use YouTube. People are using YouTube now to find out things as well, because people are consuming media in different ways. So video and voice are important in that sense, because not a lot of people will go on their phones to look at this type of thing. We have to remember that things are changing. Google is scraping websites these days. So there used to be 10 results, 1 to 10. But now Google has rich snippets, and it has video snippets, it has knowledge cards. All of these things are new, and it's stopping people from going to your website, but it is important to get in there. So how much does a carpenter cost? Like there's one coming up from the US. If I was an Irish carpenter, I'd be writing a post about that to try and get that rich snippet. And then you have all these other ones, like people also ask how much does a carpenter cost per hour. So I'm looking at those and saying, okay, well, people are searching this. Why don't I actually write a blog post about it? As you say, you have to grab your entity. So as you can tell, I'm a Munster fan. So Ronan O'Gara here, he has his own knowledge card. So Google is putting that information in there, so they don't even have to go to Wikipedia to find out about Ronan. Search engine optimization. So Google are correlating a lot of data from Wikipedia and other sources and pulling it into the search results. So people don't even need to go to websites anymore to find out information. But gaining that rich snippet is very important. But it can also be very difficult. So here's more of rich snippets. And how you do that is SEMrush have by far the best blog posts that I've seen on it. But they're saying that you should really be helping the user find out the information they want as quickly as possible, and then use the rest of your post to kind of explain or examine on it, and to, I suppose, go over it more. So and lists, all that type of information, the way you're formatting is extremely important as well, because you have FAQs, how-tos, people also ask. All of these things are helping, and there's stuff you need to know when you're in your SEO or when you're conducting your SEO. Your billboard is Google is a billboard. So how do you enhance your I suppose blog listing or your website listing in order to get people to click on you? So for me, like the Golden Pages are doing at the moment, they're putting in a list and a date. As you can see here, they have a list and a date, November 2019. So this is anthonyjoyce.ie. They have where they are in Dublin, and they also have their number there. So people, they're standing out because they're helping the user by not even having to go and click in. They get the number. They're showing accreditation. They're accredited. They're using power words. They're saying expert legal advice. They use best power words. So the best solicitors and lawyers in Dublin. So all of these are helping with click-through rates. Outreach strategy. So we were talking about links, and getting the more links you get back to your website, the more of an authority you become. But there are a lot of caveats to that. You can get the wrong type of links. You can get poor links, bad links, anything like these. You have to understand the good type of links and the bad type of links. In the past, it was like SEOs used to do a lot of, I suppose, a lot of forms, and they used to do a lot of business directories. But now, you can get low quality business directories, and they can actually damage your brand. And if I'm selling dog toys, I don't want to get a link from a sports shop, because it's not related to dog toys. So making sure those irrelevant links aren't there is extremely important, but you do want to get the good links. So if you ever get links from somewhere like a news website or a trusted authority like the Independent or the Times, anything like that, that's an extremely good link. But if I was selling dog toys, I want to make sure that I'm getting links from bloggers that talk about dogs. I want to get even veterinarians, reaching out to them and saying, hey, we'll give you a coupon code if you link to our blog, and people can actually get money off as part of them being part of your veterinarian practice. Is your content worth linking to? So that's one of the big things that I always say is, like, if you're going to produce content, make sure it's good content. Are the visuals good? Is it news? Do you have a lot of data and statistics behind it? If you don't, and it's not helping a user, and it's not as good as what's out there already, you're going to find it hard to get links, and you're going to find it hard to rank above people who have actually put a lot of effort into that. So I always say earn links, don't buy them. So one of the best things to do is how-tos. Create a how-to post. You become very good because you're helping users find out about it,
and they can actually, I suppose, do more. And they'll learn how to do things themselves, and they'll reward you by sharing you or linking to you. And it prevents news websites from having to go off and create their own how-tos if they wanted to. Surveys are a great way, do survey results and publish them. If you have audience interactions on your website and you have information that other sources might need to reference, it's a great way. So statistics is a great way to get links. Do you have video content? If you have video content and you're training people how to do SEO, or if you're training people how to do whatever in your industry, right? Even if we go back to the dog toy example, people, if they're on an e-commerce website and they see an image of a dog toy, or if they see a dog playing with that toy in a video, you're going to be more enticed to probably buy that. And other people are probably going to link to it as well. So earn, don't buy. Make sure nice graphics, nice images, get them created. Go to your local designers if you have one in house. If you don't, look for one locally. Always try and shop local, and if you can't afford it, maybe try somewhere like Fiverr.com. Some of the most common mistakes that I encounter is, it's simple little things that websites haven't done, especially for small, medium businesses and startups. They didn't set up their Google Search Console and submit sitemaps. So as I said, Google Search Console is the way Google and webmasters communicate with each other. They tell you what's in the search results. They tell you how many of your pages are indexed in there. If there's any issues, how many people are linking to your website. And you need to submit your sitemap. So you're telling Google about all the pages on your website. If not, Google is guessing and going through their index, and you're relying on them. Now, it's coming to the point where Google's getting so good that sitemaps aren't essential, but I like to use them. Plus, it helps me keep a track of what I want in the search results as well. A lot of people don't put in title tags. So every single page on your website has a title tag, a meta description, and they don't have schema. So the schema is for the how-tos and the FAQs and that type of stuff. But the titles and meta descriptions is crazy, because if you have a website and your designer's giving you this fantastically designed, it's visually pleasing, it's an amazing website, loads really fast, but you haven't put a title tag or a meta description in there, it's actually very difficult for Google to understand what that page is about. You need to let Google know what the page is about. So if I have a page on dog toys, then I have to put dog toys in the title and in the meta description to explain to Google what that page is about. And it's not just explaining to Google, it's explaining to users as well, because title tags and meta descriptions and a URL are the three things that are on in your billboard in that Google search result. So, targeting the wrong keywords. So people target the wrong keywords and they don't do the right thing. It's simple. Poorly written content. People might think they're putting up 120 words, just a little brief description, and they have no images, no anything on the page. Not only does it look bad, it doesn't look good in your business when you don't put the effort into showing what your business should look like from the outside in. You need to make sure that you explain to the user everything they need to know when they're searching for your topic. Whether it's they're searching for informational, transactional, or navigational, they need to know that they're on the right page. So that goes for lack of images or video. If they don't have any UX or CRO, so conversion rate optimization is non-existent, users are going to find it hard to take what action what are you actually trying to get the user to take on the website. So making sure you guide your users on a journey and that they don't have to go to a different website to find that information is extremely important. We talked about the website not being responsive. So again, if someone goes onto their phone and they can't actually get onto the website, and they can't read what they need to, it's very bad for user experience. No external promotion as well. It's crazy to think at the moment that a website doesn't just pop up anymore and stay there and do amazing. You need to write content consistently, or you need to produce content consistently. So that might be video, it could be images, it could be little updates, but making sure you always get out on your social channels and direct people back to you. Not necessarily for SEO, but it just helps get your website that more authority and increases your possibility of getting more inbound links back to your website. So this has just kind of been something small that I wanted to go through with you. Now, I know that it's SEO can seem daunting. Like, for me to explain that to you in a few minutes, for me, I don't think it's very good for you. But it's essential just to dip your toe in. So I hope you did watch. But what I want you to do is I want you to really think of what you want to get done, where you want to rank, because at the end of the day, this is all about getting more business for your business. And if you're not being able to be found, it's extremely difficult for you to get that. And your competitors are just going to actually bunny hop over you and get the business that you should be getting. So you might be the far better company in your area. But if people can't find you, you're losing out on that potential customer. And they might need you. Anyway, look, it's strange times. Conducting training, I suppose, at your premises, or renting an office to do this, or going somewhere to do this training isn't necessary at the moment. So what we can do is we can hop on Zoom. My training, as I said, online training for an hour block booking is €100. I'm easy to get along with, and I really do want to help your business at the moment. And we can conduct this any hours you'd like, in the evenings or weekends. If you feel as though now is the time to start building your business and getting it set up for when we do open back up, and when the economy is trying to recover, and when we're all trying to recover and we need more sales and revenue, it's a great time to start doing this type of thing. Thank you for listening. This is one of my first videos. I'm not very good at doing them, so I apologize if I didn't seem as exciting on camera as you should be. But I just wanted to get the information to you in a nice, legible way. Thank you.